Hello and welcome to Call Time. I'm your host, Casey Whisler, and if you're unfamiliar with this show, this is just a little comedy show in which I interview some awesome guests and try and shine a light on our arts programs. We had one show prior to this, and it was a pretty big hit, I would say. I thought it went really well, and I guess you guys did too, because I got some nice fan mail from it. I'm flattered, really. So I thought I would just read you guys some of that fan mail just so we can all spread the love. All right, so this first one says, "Dear Casey, your show was so super funny and I laughed during every moment of it." Stop it. "You are so bright and talented and I know you're going places. Keep up the good work, Casey. We love you." Thanks, Mom. That was so sweet. All right, our next one. Oh, okay, this one is from my secret admirer. I have no idea who it is, but they are just in love with the show, I guess. So, all right. "Dear Casey, I need you to stop calling me your secret admirer. I sit directly across from you in physics and I once complimented your shirt. Please stop calling me your secret admirer. It's annoying. From Dave, my secret admirer." Cute. Okay, our third piece of fan mail says, "Dear Casey, hey babe, you were looking totally amazing tonight. Great job on your super awkward delivery and congrats on a super kick butt show. You are so dang beautiful and talented and hilarious and perfect and wonderful and incredibly modest too. Love you, girl. Also, your secret admirer is totally into you." You gotta boost the morale, sometimes put your own diary pages in your own monologue. Perfect. Okay, well next we have, this one says, "Dear Miss Whisler," fancy, "you need to renew your 16 gigabyte data plan and get our 24 gigabyte data plan for only $110 a month. Love Verizon Wireless." Big fans of this show. All right, and last we have, "Dear Casey Whisler, your letter to the president regarding that you become the president with a bribe of $12 and a coupon book was unable to be delivered. We request you leave the country. Sincerely, the Obama administration." Dang it. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the show tonight. We have two wonderful performances from Orchesis and an interview with the lovely Miss Doyle. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Call Time. And here at Call Time, we know that it gets a little confusing with all of the new things happening in 2016. There are like a million new movies coming out like every day. And so we wanted to make it just a little more convenient for the everyday viewer. There's been new great movies like Suicide Squad and Jason Bourne and a bunch of great new movies coming out this year. So I thought, instead of going out to see all of those movies, why not just watch Call Time and I'll summarize them all for you. Almost every famous movie, really, of all time. Right here, I'll give you the summary so you don't even have to go through bothering watching them. Okay, so first we begin with Mission Impossible. There's a mission that's impossible and they do it. Next, Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, cool. Next, Star Wars, Spice Fight. Spoiler alert, Darth Vader is the father. Next we have Jurassic World, which includes dinosaurs and pretty much nothing else. Then we have Magic Mike. That's it. Then we have 50 Shades of Grey. That's it. We have The Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor. That's pretty much the only line in the movie. We have Finding Dory. Where's Dory? There she is. That's it. We have Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? It's in the name. Ghostbusters. We have Twilight, and Twilight makes pale and sparkly look sexy. Next we have Kung Fu Panda 1 through like 12. Just why? What's the use? We have Jaws, which is big shark and small boat. And then we have Titanic, which is big ice and small boat. Next we have E.T., sad alien. We have Gone with the Wind, frankly, Scarlet. Next we have Forrest Gump, which says, "Life is like a box of chocolates. Very difficult if you're lactose intolerant." Next, we have Harry Potter. You're a wizard, Harry. We have Avatar, which is blue guys, and Smurfs, which is also blue guys, and Frozen. where I just think we need to let it go. All right, so if you're ever wondering about movies, that's pretty much every movie of all time summed up right here on Call Time, your resource for all things movie and everything else. All right, so next we have a wonderful, wonderful segment from the Orchesis Dance Company. This is Grace Rock's dance titled Nothing Is Real. Enjoy.
Sun has died.
Welcome back to Call Time. That was a spectacular performance by the lovely, lovely crew of Orchesis. Right now, we have our next segment, which is a reoccurring segment here on Call Time, and it's called This or That. And this is where I give you two categories, and they're pretty different things, but a lot of the names within those categories sound like the same thing. So I'm going to read a bunch of those names, and those names are kind of things in one of the two categories, and you guys, as my lovely audience, have to guess what category it goes in. So today our two categories are punk band or candle scent. And I'll give you some time to think about it, but we begin with the Bronx. Is that a scent of a candle or the title of a punk band? Think about it. It's a band. You don't want to smell the Bronx, do you? Next we have Care Bears on Fire. That's also a punk band, although Care Bears on Fire would be a pretty cool candle. We have Mandarin Cranberry. Yeah, that's a candle. Next we have Squirrel Bait. Is it a candle? Is it a band? What is it? It's a band. Next we have New Orleans Jazz Fest. Do you want to smell that New Orleans Jazz Fest or do you want to hear it? You're gonna smell it, that's a candle. Next we have Clean Shave. The nice smell of a clean shave, the nice sound of a punk band with clean shaves. No, it's a candle. Next we have Lemonheads. Is that punk rock or a nice, humble candle scent? It's punk rock. Lemonheads are pretty punk rock. Next we have Elton John's Garden. Wow, very tranquil. Band or candle? It's a candle. Next we have Earth Crisis. Very, very poignant today. That's a band. We can already see the Earth Crisis. We don't have to smell it. That's the 2016 election, really. Next we have Midnight Jasmine. Midnight Jasmine, what is it? That's a candle. That's a candle. And then we have Life's Blood. Band, candle, bandle, it's band. Next we have Catholic Discipline. Yes, smell that Catholic discipline in the air. It's perfect. No, it's a punk band. Next we have The Spirit of America. You can hear that spirit in the air? No, you can smell it. Smell America. Sweat and bacon. All right, that's a candle. Next we have Fabulous Disaster, which is, although very glamorous, a band, a punk band really. And next, our final and the hardest question here on This or That, Urinal Cake. Is that a candle? Is it a band? That's a candle. Delicious. Beautiful. All right. So next, our next segment involves Orchesis once more, and they are going to be performing their state piece from their spring show titled Biding My Time. Enjoy. Welcome back to Call Time. I'm your host, Casey Whisler, and today on the show we have the head of the dance department here at RBHS, Miss Doyle.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely.
So can you tell me a little bit about your dance experience before you came to RB?
Sure. So I've been dancing for quite a while. My mom was actually a dance, well, still is a dance teacher, so she had me start when I was real little with your ballet, tap, in the little tutus. So I've been dancing at a studio for quite a while. Once I got into high school, I did do our Orchesis program and POMs for a couple years. And then decided that my teacher in Orchesis had a pretty cool job.
Yeah.
So I ended up going on to college for dance. I went to Columbia in downtown Chicago. And then in order to teach in a public high school, you do need a certification. So I went on to do that afterwards. So I kind of knew pretty early on that this is where I wanted to be. So yeah, I've been dancing for a pretty long time and kind of stuck with it throughout high school and college. Yeah.
So what technique or inspired you really to continue dance throughout that early career?
I always loved jazz dance, especially at the studio that I was at. Once I got to college, I was really introduced to the modern dance, and that just kind of totally got me. I was super into it. Every day we had a live musician playing for us, so I just loved going to class.
Yeah.
And then, I just kept going with that. Ended up, my first modern dance teacher at Columbia, she is the artistic director for a dance company in Chicago called the Dance Collective. And so after college, I didn't think that I would ever be a professional dancer, but ended up trying out and auditioning for her company, going to workshops and things, and then I ended up dancing with them for 5 years.
Wow, so you have connections in the
yeah,
dance world.
yeah. I mean, that was what I really loved about being at Columbia.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I just kind of brought all that with me and kept the people around me that I knew would give me opportunities.
Yeah, of course. So have you applied all of these things that you've learned to Orchesis and RDE when you're teaching?
Definitely some of it, or as much as I can. There were some projects at Columbia that you do as kind of like your senior year. There's a choreographic project that you do. There's also concert production where you learn about lighting and stage production and that kind of thing. So I definitely have taken some of those things with me and shared it with the Orchesis and RDE groups.
Yeah, so what's the difference between Orchesis and RDE?
So RDE is Repertory Dance Ensemble, and that is in place of your wellness credit. So you can take it during the day, and you dance every day. And it is a full year honors level PE course. Now, Orchesis is a little bit different because it only happens in the spring, and it's considered like an extracurricular. Okay. So,
So RDE is more like the class, and Orchesis. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So, what new things have you brought to RDE and Orchesis this year specifically?
Well, for Repertory Dance Ensemble, I think that we have kind of started our rehearsal process a lot sooner. It's nice to have. We do have a winter concert, so it's nice to have a lot of preparation and have a good amount of dances that you can put into the show. So in order to do that, you kind of gotta start a little bit earlier so you have enough time to prep. And we definitely have started earlier this year and given us some cushion right before the show. Orchesis, I think it'll be the same way. But yeah, like I said, Orchesis doesn't start until the spring, so we'll see what happens and see what new changes we can add.
Yeah, so we're showing 2 performances from the Orchesis show last spring on this episode today. So, and the first one is called Nothing's Real, and that was choreographed by Grace Rock. Could you tell us a little bit about that piece in particular?
Sure. So, Grace, her concepts that she would come up with were really, really in-depth, and basically the surface of the dance was her interest in how people they move on in life and they go to new chapters of their life and they experience new things and get older, but there's always kind of this want to stay young and to kind of keep that adolescence with you when you do get older. So
you're doing some deep dancing.
Yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of other things that go into it that are a lot more in depth and takes a lot of explanation, but that's the general
basics.
idea.
I get it, yeah. And so the second one is Biding My Time, and you went to state for that piece?
We did. So Orchesis doesn't really, or repertory dance ensemble, or just high school dance in general, doesn't compete unless it's like a POMS competition team. So what they do is they just hold a festival instead of having a competition and having a winner. It's more of just like a showcase with all the high schools in the area. So we did make state this year, and we went to the festival and did the performance. So yeah, that dance was about there was 3 choreographers, and we talked about like what is interesting to us. They did some music research. We started with one song, ended up switching it, but what their interest was in, this is actually a lot more simple than the last one, was the kind of mannerisms and feelings that people have in like a waiting room.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's really evident in the dance with the structure and everything.
Yeah. So we had all the chairs. Everybody, we talked about like what kind of waiting room. We kept going back to this like hospital idea. I don't know why. And nobody was sick or anything, but
very uplifting.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, and then that kind of came through with our costumes having like one like blank color, very sterile. Had a lot of like gestural material. But yeah, so that was the concept for that one.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Absolutely.
It was lovely hearing about these dances.
Yeah.
And we will be right back after the break. Welcome back to Call Time. That's about it, so thank you so much for watching. It has been an honor being your host tonight. If you didn't see the first episode, go on and check that out at rbtv.tv. And we hope you like the show. A special thanks to the crew, Miss Doyle, Orchesis, and my max 2.5 viewers. I hope you tune in next time, and thank you so much for watching.